A maid stands in a millionaire's mansion, but she isn't cleaning. She's holding his baby, crying uncontrollably. Why? Because in that tiny heartbeat, she's reminded of the child she lost forever. And when the millionaire walks in, what happens next will break your heart. Mr. Anderson was one of the richest men in the city. He had everything, businesses, cars, a mansion. But his marriage was cold, and his wife barely cared for their infant son. That's why they hired Grace, a quiet black maid with kind eyes, to care for the baby. What they didn't know, Grace had once been a mother herself. Years ago, she lost her only child to sickness because she couldn't afford the hospital bills. That pain never left her heart. One silent night, the baby cried nonstop. Grace rushed in, lifted him gently, and rocked him in her arms. The child's tiny fingers grabbed her shirt, and suddenly, tears streamed down her face. She whispered, "Don't worry, I'm here. You're safe with me." But standing at the door was Mr. Anderson. He had come home early and froze, watching his maid cry over his son. At first he was suspicious, but then he heard her words. He saw the love in her eyes, the way she held his child like her own. "Grace, why are you crying?" he finally asked. Through trembling lips, she told him everything about her daughter, the night she begged for help but was turned away because she was poor, and how holding his baby felt like holding a piece of the child she lost. The millionaire's eyes filled with tears. For the first time, he saw Grace not as a servant, but as a broken soul with a heart full of love. From that night on, she was no longer just a maid. She became family, because sometimes the people we overlook carry the greatest pain and the biggest hearts. What do you think? Should Grace have kept her promise? Let me know in the comments. And if this story touched you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out more stories linked below. See you in the next one.